Good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and we want to welcome you this evening. I'm Alfonso Zen. So right here from the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV, this is All Things Considered. We want to welcome you to this evening broadcast. No matter where you are joining us this evening, we say good to have you here. And by the way, you are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio, LPR TV, keeping it new, fair, balanced, and proportional. Not necessarily to suit your political taste. We do discuss some high-core issue here, as sometimes, not necessarily all of the time, we don't play to your soundbite with respect to what you want to hear, but what you need to know. This sets us apart from other institutions here in the diaspora. We say good evening, welcome to the show. I am your host and presenter, Alfonso Zen. So, right here from the New England Bureau. Time check, it's 8:09 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. From Wednesday to Wednesday, a lot of news making headlines in Liberia and other parts of the world. We're going to be taking you in that, and of course, you will not be left behind into this conversation as we intend to have a fair, balanced, and proportional. Welcome to the show. Share the podcast. No, not podcast. Share the program. There's a difference with talk show, podcast, and all of that. Share the program, and we will get the ball rolling. To all of the analysts, the link is out there, and you're going to be joining us here very shortly. This is the sound that introduces the program, All Things Considered. Good evening. Also, welcome. I'm Alfonso Zen, sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to welcome our viewers inside Liberia, right here in the USA, other parts of the world. Good to have you here. To all of our ladies, sisters, unplanned followers of the Liberia Public Radio, we say happy Valentine's Day. Today is a unique day for you as mothers, sisters, and ladies, and we say happy Valentine's Day from the entire management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio. Thank you for your commitment to this network. And beyond the network things that you do, we are just unable to pay you. This is a unique way of saying it, something that was introduced by the Western civilization, Valentine. And so it has become a bone of contention. If you do not say happy Valentine's Day, you potentially face a social sanction, not by the United Nations, but they are self-imposed sanctions if you refuse to do that. I'll be answering questions all day. Today is Valentine's Day. You didn't even say happy Valentine's Day. Oh, my boy. To all the ladies in the house, from the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV, both in the USA and diaspora, and back home, meant to say, we say happy Valentine's Day and good to have you here. And from the Queen of LPR, we say happy Valentine's Day. How's that? That's a happy Valentine's Day. Let's get a ball rolling right here and right now. That's the listeners of the Liberia Public Radio. I'm Alfonso Zane. So right here from the New England Bureau Desk, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful Midweek Wednesday with us right here. It's been a crazy week this yesterday here, and that's the beauty of New England. We all agreed that we wanted to come in the cold, so we got to taste the beauty of being in the cold. We say good evening and welcome. From Wednesday to Wednesday, it's a lot. Disregard this voice. We have a commitment. We signed a treaty of commitment that we need to do fulfill, and that's part of our own fulfillment. If you are in Liberia, we say good morning and thank you for joining us. If you're right here in the USA, oh, I will pay for it. I didn't even call my own mom today to say happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, but she never get mad. No Bible for a child. So returns we say it's a happy Valentine's Day. It's catching up with us, and we're going to do what we're supposed to do. But to all of the ladies in the house, again, on behalf of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, both USA and Liberia, we say happy Valentine's Day. No matter to who you are, which group you represent. Ultimately, I don't pick. And sometimes I said, I think my man Unthinkable is here this evening. He was wondering whether I was a crew guy because he feels I'm fussy. But I try to put the liberal in check because he wants to impose his will on this network, which is not the case. This network represents the broader views of Liberians, regardless of your political affiliations, who you want to support, which is okay. But we have made a commitment not to leave no voice or no one behind in the national conversation. But the liberal want to totalize this network. Let me create a new word. You can look it out and ask Google whether it is a word or not. But we'll be having a conversation. Today is Wednesday, midweek Wednesday, and as usual, is all things considered. Part of that is to give you voice. Sometimes things that we talk here does not suit your political taste, or it's not something that you just want to talk about. And so we want to give you that voice. Before I go on here, to get what I call Alfonso's take, the country Liberia of today and the future. It is quite interesting and amazing to see the nations, our country, who we are, and what we want it to be. If you peruse the social network, radio, host, program, facilitator, angles, even to the very supporters, the ordinary citizenry, know how tense and divided the country is. Lack of sincerity. The insincerity has taken over our own lives to the extent people become more subjective instead of being objective. Quickly to educate people without even giving them time and chance to speak or hear from them. Where are we heading as a people, as a country, as a nation? The dishonesty on the part of politicians, media gurus, talk show hosts, radio programs, the very supporters, their surrogate in the business to protect and defend their own alligator. Yet they want the country to be a free country to have a good governance. How can we attain or achieve those objectives? and we do not have the guts to even call into question of one of our own. We're very good at making comparisons. Look at Ghana, look at Nigeria, look at Ivory Coast. Change comes with a lot of advantages and disadvantages. There are pains, there are gains, and all of that. And that's not all who runs this marathon. Ultimately, it entered the marathon page. It has become, it continues to be more dangerous when media is driving the agenda, rely on media institutions to drive the agenda of the country. It is dangerous. Because when that ties is broken, there's going to be a big gap, and that gap has to be filled by you or other people who will tell us the directions of the country. And that's how we are going. What do we really want Liberia to be? And I've come to realize in that country, in order to get the political or side attractions of the ordinary citizen, be a bad guy. Simple. Be a bad guy. You will be celebrated. People will stand in your defense. People will cheer you up because the polarizations of the country, I am for this party, I am for that party. And so when something wrong is being done, as long as it favors your party, you cheer them up. And the starter is not just an overnight event. It has been a gradual process, and that has been translated into our actions at the ballot box. We sang a famous song. You killed my pa, you killed my ma, I will vote for you. Was it out of ignorance, or was it a deliberate purpose on the part of us as a people, as a nation, and not knowing where we were heading and thinking that these things will have come to an end in a short period of time, but forgetting to know they were bearing out fruit and they could be transformed into another bacteria that would gradually take the fabric of the nation. You kill my pa, you kill my man, I will vote for you. And I remember vividly well, and a Western journalist said, Liberia as a country was heading in a direction like a vessel on the sea with an unknown technician. Indeed, it is vividly clear today there's an unknown technician. You know book, you don't know book, I will vote for you. Politicians are so clever, so strategic. They use specific tone, exoteric tone, specific language that it takes someone to decode to know exactly what they are saying. We will come, we will rescue. We will come, we will be the fixer. Tend to twist and tweak the minds of ordinary Liberians, put us into a disposition and telling us exactly what they're going to be doing without even giving relevant details as to how these things are going to be achieved. And ordinary Liberians buy into it. Unlike our neighbors, Sierra Leone did it differently. Never, after the brutal civil war, they took a decisive decision because they were making a long-term gain for the good of the country and denied those who brought the untold suffering to give them political power, because they knew very well giving someone the authority to decide your fate, be a senator, be a representative, be even a president, or even high military commander. You would never prosecute yourself. You would never take a case in court against yourself to have yourself convicted. So they took an ultimate gamble. They took a stance. We are not going to reward these people. Unlike in Liberia, we flipped the table around. We chanted, we celebrated, and allowed and gave justifications of their actions. West, they never and will not express remorse of their attitude. They don't need defense lawyer. Self-proclaimed lawyers from all backgrounds, USA, Liberia, everywhere, put on their garment to defend their case. He did it, she did it because of XYZ. And we all buy into it. Forgetting to note the fabric of the country, the future of the country is being drowned. And we think it's going to be an automatic scenario to fix it. We give them power. They become our Antonies for 6 years, for 9 years, giving them authority. Which, of course, you know and I know Liberian politicians are unapologetic. They never and will never apologize for their wrongdoing. How can they do that when they have the authority and the country is heavily divided? Yes, we think it is okay because the boy is in our corner, is in our direction. Radio talk show hosts trying to be advocates with the sole purpose to be politically rewarded, and nothing wrong with working for your country to give back to your country, but they did it on a false pretense, as if their advocacy was genuine, was authentic. They leave from party A to party B and all over the place like a roaming lion, seeking political shelter just for their own gain. We are in there for the people. We are fighting for you. And people buy into those sound bites. Yes, he's my man. They will not stay in the institution to fix what is going on wrong. They will stay in there. They will get drowned in it. And when it catch up with them, when they are booted out, they tend to be the champions, the voice for the voiceless. People accept that. It's a natural phenomenon of all mankind. But how can we trust these people? They were there yesterday. They didn't have to fix the system. They helped and facilitate to corrupt the system. Here they are again, in a different form, different shape, different tone, different language, to be the new Messiah. How can that be? When will we have the guts to challenge even the one that we support? Would that ever be possible? How many of our politicians, radio hosts, parkers, journalists, ordinary civilians are willing to take the risk to let go because of your strong political ideology or for the good of the country to survive? Everything you need a political reward. We're seeing it playing out well. That's not the first time. They will not be the last. It's going to be a continuing process even after the presidency of Dr. Joseph Boyka, correct? Yeah. So Liberia has become a nation to a country. In order to be politically accommodated, you must take a side. And it must be forceful, it must be vehement, it must be bitter, it must be to resent. You must call names, you must take that risk. After all, life is a risk. If you fail to meet those criteria, the possibility of being accommodated into the society is just like this. You will be named. You are not part of us. Where were you when we were driving this train, when we were fighting this maritime, how can't there are intruders among us? They were not visible when we were in a slum fighting for this cause. I don't think those were the words of Nelson Mandela, who stays in the maximum prison compound for over 29 years. I'm wondering to see Liberian politicians in like Nelson Mandela, they will be president for a lifetime, even when they are in the wheelchair, because they're going to pay back those years. But he did it for the good, for the survival of the country. And even those who persecuted him, the white, they were accommodated into his government. They were given high profile positions. They were forgiven for the good of the country. How many of our politicians are willing to extend that olive branch? Now, the elephant has been falling, and those who were in the bushes and trenches to chase that elephant, they will receive, and we will be taking the bare bones, because you were not part of that. You were not in that jungle forest. Media tycoons, those who stood intercede for the country to give directions between the government and its people. The media is not a resistance group, it's there to provide the information. But they took side. That's what the society calls for today. And so sooner or later, everybody, because it's becoming glaring, we have seen it from time to time, consistently, repeatedly in recent time. Be part of the cheering squad, or else you on your own. And we all know the difficult times. So people put down their dignity and compromise the affairs of the nation. And will do things whatever way they can to get them to go through. So it brings us to the question, the country Liberia of today and the future. It happens in the past, it's happening now. Is there any evidence that it is going to go away? Absolutely not. So even if you are qualified, if you're able to serve for your country, as long as you have that strong differences with the other side, forget it. We do not have to run for this sort of accommodation. See where we are as a people, as a nation. Here we are. We will have this sort of conversation. We have other hosts who will sing, who will dance, and say, I am for this person. Should we all start dancing? Probably. I want to be in the picture as well. But someone should break the gap. To the analysts, the link is out right now. So we're going to be having a conversation. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio, NLPR TV. Today is All Things Considered. The analysts are coming in gradually. They dance. Put on their dancing shoe. Sanctions other voices. If you call in, if you don't talk my will, you out. Yet they claim to be deliberate. The Donald Trump type of liberal. Well, something unusual happened in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. We'll continue to have that conversation, and we are getting some interesting news developing here this evening. We'll break it as we receive it. It's left with you to do the follow-up, but it's coming, it's glaring. I am Alfonso Ziansort of the Liberia Public Radio, NLPR TV. Welcome to the show. Okay, welcome to the show. I am not like one of those people who prefer to do it their own way at their own timing. We give people the opportunity to speak their mind, even if we disagree with them, how ridiculous they would be. We still give them the voice. We don't mute our microphone to get them not to be part of the conversation. No babush for your child. Let me bring in the liberal progressive, the most liberal on this network. Samson Blacko Bronto is based in Saxton, Sacramento, California. There you see him is a very strong ally, formerly with the Liberty Party, but now seeking political shelter, display politically, because he's unable to settle what is going on within a party. He comes here and he dances. He beats the drum. He beats the drum. From get-go, I'm wondering what his name? Sander Johnson, Class Reloaded, Spoon, Eugene, Facts versus Fiction, name is being called. What the other place? I'm waiting to see what his name would be in the fire. The Liberal Progressive, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. Thank you for having us. We're here again. We're happy to be here, and thank you very much.
You have danced a lot.
Yes, I listened to your Tabata. I thought the election was over. I didn't know you were still stuck in the election mode, refusing to congratulate us, but that's okay. We're going to leave without you. You stay in your corner, accusing people of running the government, what have you. That's your view. You're entitled to it. What you are not entitled to, Mr. So, are facts, and the facts is on our side. Ambassador Baka, President Baka is leading. He's looting all over the place. He's overworking for the people of the Republic of Liberia. Mr. So, you can say all you want to say, and I'm moving on. President Baka going to succeed. Whether your team not able or he able, he will succeed. So you can talk all your Tabata all day. That Wednesday, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way. Continue. We appreciate it. The more you talk, in fact, by you making this statement, it makes us stronger. It makes the people and Ambassador Baka stronger to make sure that they listen to you and not make mistakes of the past. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate your criticism. We appreciate whatever you're saying. Of course, for me, it's Tabata, but I bet Ambassador Baka and the rest of the people, if they listen to you, they pick out the right things you're saying, the right critical things you say, and they will straighten up. That's what life is. So here on LPR and Toya Tabata, you think if they want me, they will call me. They call other people. They want me, they will call me. They didn't want me yet. They don't know me, and I don't know that.
Probably you didn't dance that well. So you are dancing the total.
It doesn't matter how much dancing I dance. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, I will still dance. Whether they call me or they didn't call me or I will dance. I will dance for the president.
Okay. Wow. How are you doing, brother?
You got anything else?
How are you doing, my dear brother?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm just doing great. Liberia President Baka is back in the country, and this what we're concentrating on now is the 100-day no car getting stuck, and some of us will be heavily involved to make sure that particular predicting stuff come to pass. We will make sure to work with those who are in position to make that happen. Whatever contribution we have to make, we will make it right from here. Or even I might even have to go home. I'll go home.
Oh, something in the making? I want you to be in the picture, though.
No, I don't want to be in the picture. Not yet. Mr. So, look, let me tell you this. Good player don't fight for Jesse. You understand that? Well, you never played football before. Anyway, you don't know anything about football. So those of us that play ball, good player don't fight for Jesse. we sit back. President Walker has 6 years to go. And he's not going to be like your guy who never have any kind of reshuffle for 6 years. People that are there, if they're not doing good, President Walker is going to move them, bring other people in. This is about Liberia, our country. And we are here to serve. Unlike you and the other person calling himself, that's why I said he go to Grand Gita, I'm moving to Lofa County.
Okay, here we go tonight. I don't know what kind of energy drink this old man is taking every night, every evening that I kept going. Okay, Terry, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Good evening, Liberal. How you guys doing?
Yeah, Terry, I'm fine, but I'm going to pay keen attention to your selection of words here tonight. I'm going to pay keen attention to the phrases that are going to come out of you here tonight. I'm paying keen attention. Go ahead. Good evening.
But Liberal, it look like somebody made you vessel.
No.
Because
I just don't want you to go follow these people. We're winning. We're there. Terry, no, Mr. Saul, before this is your show. You're running your show the way you want. If you don't mind, I want to make one or two statements.
I'm not like you. I don't run the way I want.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You need to face the microphone. I don't run. I'm not like you, the way you run it, the way you want. When people calling, you cut them off on purpose. I'm not hearing you. My phone not working. My battery is dying. I'm not like that. Even if I agree or disagree with you, I still listen to you. That's how we dialogue.
Okay. Let me say this then. Terry, on a very serious note, we get involved in these things not necessarily for a pay or a job or what have you. I'm sure that's not why you got in it. We got in it for conviction, but we believe that President Baka has the ability to take us, even if he doesn't take us all the way, but at least he has the ability to start the process. And we believe in him. So no matter what, he just demonstrated that 2 days ago about that army, it was a very dire situation, but he was able to go back into his bags of wisdom and came out with a reply, with a response that was very amicable on both sides. Only those Liberians that wanted to destabilize the country were preaching the government should have had a heavy hand in it, which I don't believe. So we got a long way to go for the show tonight, but to be honest with you, we believe that this country is going to move forward. It's not going to go backward. And as I stated, once the people in charge of this 100-day car not getting stuck, and if I see the good thing, I will go home myself. I will spend at least 1 or 2 months on the ground, going from county to county and to making sure these potholes are taken care of. Believe me, you will see.
Wow.
That's good. It's not about getting paid. It's about my own commitment to making sure the president succeeds. That's it.
You see, and that's what I kept pushing your button. Don't sit down here and run your mouth, cha 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 cha, and say, "Can you say you get a 9 year?"
Oh, I changed my mind. I'm not saying you put it, saying not put it, saying it. I'm not going with he said. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Good evening. Let's have a conversation. Terry, good to be here. He started his intimidation already. He operates. He claimed to be a liberal, but his attitude, his presentation, things that comes from out of him does not. It doesn't look like a liberal way of doing things. He's like more or less the sort of Trumpist type, wanted to hear certain things out of people. He creates intimidating you now, creating that sort of unease environment. He's gonna be watching you. How are you gonna be watching people? Very interesting.
You look at Terry. Terry almost 7 feet tall. Does he look like somebody that can intimidate him?
Why will you sit on a major network? I'm gonna be watching you. Now you get more people to watch.
Oh no.
You have more to watch.
The independent voices.
Jones,
I think we got
Mali.
to put that name.
You see, Mali, I was just telling him and telling them, we got to take a side. You see, I'm waiting to see. Class reloaded has been double loaded. The Ministry of Information, Jeremy Lapierre, Spoon. They already get a cold spoon. They already get a Ford. What is his name? Eugene Facts versus Fiction.
Yeah, Fact versus Fiction.
Fact versus Fiction. And we have the liberal here every night. One only called me and said, but when this guy started this whole dancing business, we see something unusual. So I hope to President Boyka and the folks closer to Boyka, Anthony, please, Magabe dancing here. I want to see his name. Their list is growing every day when I get it. Mother Jones, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, sir. How are you, Mr. Collins and Labor?
Yeah, Mr. Mali, how are you, man?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay, let's get a ball rolling. Time is fast spent. Tonight is all things considered, but we all know that during the course of week, one thing stimulated, captured the imagination of all of us, and we're still seeking more answers to that. The wives, the army wives, demonstration, protest, whatever name or form you want to call it, here caught the attention to everybody. But the interpretation, the explanations varies depending who you talk to, and judgment has been rendered. And people have the words, the right to talk because it's about the country and how they can talk about it. And we just need to be civil in our conversations, and not let other folks who just try to bend the wheel. So, well, among my mother children, I love myself the best. Let me come to Homestead Mali Jones, because if there was anything, he would be the first to rescue me. So let me come to Mali Jones. Jones, good to have you here. I'm kind of being here.
Last to come, first to be on. I know where we're going tonight.
Well, right. That's the employment policy.
If you're not part of it, you can't get. Right. Okay, so Jones, let's hear from you. Too much is ongoing. President going to Ghana, a convoluted press statement coming out. We are getting more details of the president trip from sources close, well sources that are familiar with it. We're going to be coming to that, the essence of the president trip. But let's go into your portfolio this evening. What are you considering?
Well, I'm considering throwing my own contribution on what I classify as the AFL technical mutiny.
Technical mutiny. Wow. Technical mutiny.
And holding Joseph Boyka responsible in some way for what's happening.
Okay.
President Boyka, point of correction.
President Boyka. All right. You want to just quickly call the three major stuff, or we just
first, let's start first with the women.
Yeah, I mean, just give them. I want to go to them. I'm not going to be like the liberal.
Okay, let me just give you a synopsis.
Because it's already crying, baby cry. I don't. It's too.
Yes, the ladies. I think they were used as a conduit. That's the first thing. And the issue of what I classify technical mutiny is not an event. We just witnesses on the 11th, but it was not an event. The defense minister, according to my sources, is aware of the looming crisis when he was chief of staff. So these are not events. It had a long history. And when the president came in to say he's going to do some investigation with their grievances, I was praying that the issue of the forensic investigation or audit will involve him I want to involve him because this is a time bomb that God created to
We,
embarrass
we're
President.
gonna get to the
President
details.
President Boakai. It's a time
Yeah.
bomb. Yeah.
We'll get to the details. We will maintain our independency on this network. We're not gonna be like those people. That is
No,
very
not at
vital.
all. We're not going to do
Yes,
that.
we're not gonna be like them who just run with chicken with our hair and think other people are not gonna talk. So okay, Terry,
Yes.
what is on your decks this evening?
Well, it's a good talking point as usual that you recycling is, we're recycling the same talking point
Are
over
you
and
going to
over.
change your tone this evening because someone already threw something out of you, so you're taking a break? Are you going to
But
walk back your previous your conversation we had here?
no, I'm not going to walk back on it. I'm going to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, So looking at things, Ambassador Boyka was able to put things into place, put everything under control. He was able to, rectify the error that he made, which I believe he took responsibility of, and move the country forward that led to the same women coming back to apologize for what they did, knowing that it was not appropriate. So, but however it be, we look forward to see our government taking shape because most of what is happening in the country, we understand that it was not because of Ambassador Boyka, but because he is the president. And who knows, most of those people, those women and those soldiers could have secretly voted for President Boyka. So since they believe that he is the president, they believe that now they have the ability to push him to the wall to do what they want. So I would not want to agree with mutiny as stated by the Moja, the Moja independent voice. I would not I would not want to agree with mutiny. All right, because I hear people talking. Even my man Fagon, yeah, I like the guy. He came with that something on the Spoon TV, and everybody running with it, all of that. But I don't want to agree with him. Like Pamale said, that this have been an ongoing scenario. This have been something that was happening long time ago. So these people are grieving. And like we said the last time, you yourself said it, Mr. So, that this is not a strange thing. It happened in other countries where the AFL women, even in the United States, where the AFL women come out and the army women come out and they protest when they are not happy with certain conditions that are going on in the life of their husbands. And they have the right to do that. They are political beings. They are not part of the system. So we cannot attribute the decision of the women to, that it was a military strategy to undermine the government. So with that, I want to take that line tonight. Even if I fall in a pit, I'm going to still hold on to that rope a little bit until I can find myself somewhere safe. But I think I would not want to go with mutiny because that mutiny word is a strong word. It is tantamount to court-martial, if I'm not mistaken. Because if the president take it as mutiny, it means that those who orchestrated that particular stuff, those army guys, all of them need to be held accountable. They need to face in court-martial.
Okay. Let's hold it right there. The liberal.
Yes.
Let's go into your playbook this evening. Today is Wednesday. All things considered.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the issue with the army wife, for me, is a done deal. President Barker have taken care of it. He told us he's going to look into it. He told us they're going to have an investigation and people are going to report to him in 2 weeks. So we will just wait until that 2 week period is over and see what is in the report. and then that report going to be discussed in its entirety, to be honest with you. But as far as the main thing that I take out of this whole debacle, and I only call it debacle because it was affecting people's lives, is the leadership that President Barker displayed was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Was he on the scene? I don't know. But the fact that he was able to resist many calls from many of his inner circle to intervene, and their reason was good. Let's play hardball to avert future mayhem as such. But the fact that Ambassador Barker considered himself foremost the father of the nation, second, the president of the nation. And so in his statement, he clearly stated that these people serve to protect us. And therefore, if we're having issue, discussing their issue, these are sensitive times. We have to be very careful how we deal with it. This is how a responsible leader will engage in the process. So as far as I'm concerned, it's done with. We're just waiting for the report and see what we do with that after that.
Yeah, we're not just going to be watering down stuff. It's done with. I believe in preventive measures. We are not good at managing crises, so we must do everything possible we can to avoid these crises, because managing the crisis is where we fall short. Mala Jones, do you think the president was hand on deck with this thing here? You heard the liberal saying, the president handled Terry had his start of it, for which the liberal is very, very much bitter about Terry now, not trusting Terry who he is, and Terry is to abandon his agenda. But do you think the president was hand on deck? Because the damage was done. The episode, the story played out. We saw that. We saw how the country, the city came to a complete halt before intervention. I'm talking about prevention before it occurs.
Well, frankly speaking, I don't think the president's hands were on deck. I don't think so. Because according to inside sources, this thing has been going on for the past 6 months, even before the election could commence. So my question now is, if Barker took over the helm of affairs, President Barker took over the helm of affairs, where are his securities? Are they here now on the ground? The people have been murmuring, they have been meeting according to inside sources, but they have been waiting for time to capture other people's attention. All right? So his security people here were not on the ground because the noise has been on for some time now. That one. Two, did he investigate? Did he ask his advisor before bringing the guy in as a defense minister? Then the question now is, the demonstrator waited until he was picked, sent to the Senate, confirmed, came back. All right, they waited. You see, so their timing is something to think about. This is not a done deal. The armed forces of Liberia have got a very dark history. So when they start something, don't call it a done deal. Never ever. My sources even tell me that they may have been dismissing some people arbitrarily. Okay, a whole list of things. So my question now is, Joseph Barker, his legal advisor or security advisor, he had not been on the ground on this thing to nip it in the bud even before the people could have come off for the demonstration? That's the question.
Okay, the total liberal is here. He's going to answer this question, and I'm going to bring in Terry.
Yeah.
The liberal, you draw the red line. The president did everything he had to say. You listen to what Mali is saying. So I'm wondering here, Do you think, was that the first time when the episode was occurring simultaneously? Do you think, was that the first time the president got to know that there was issue going on? And if so, what has been the function of his security advisors and people who get the ears of the president to have perhaps arrested, to first of all avoid, to have done everything possible they can to avoid it from happening? How can you come here to justify that it was nothing, or maybe the president didn't know about it?
Mr. So, what I'm not going to do, I am an educated person, so to speak, but I'm not going to be stepping ahead of the president. That's not what I do. I respect his view, and I will hold myself until the president. He's going to.
I'm asking, you are a commentator, you are a host, you have discussed this thing lengthily. You should be able to, just how you actively engage when you on your free. I'm not going to say
please let the liberal explain himself. I'm not here on the witness stand, and I'm not here for Kumba here. I'm not going to answer question the way you think I should answer question. This is not going to happen. I'm a liberal, and this is America. For Christ's sake, I have a freedom now to zip it or not to zip it. I am choosing whatever that I want to say. It's a free mind. You got no control over it, Mr. So don't let yourself fool yourself because you're CEO and think that you're going to manipulate or bamboozle this liberal to say things. Let me just say this to you, and I'll be very clear. The president has told us as Liberian that he is looking into it. There are people set up to look into it, investigate, and they will report to him. Now, I can sit here and speculate, and I'm very good at that. I will do my best. Mr. So, for us to sit here and say the security apparatus has failed the president, laughable, laughable. You sit down in your cold New England bureau over there where you can't even get out because the snow will not even let you out. Now you're gonna put your mouth way like, bro. When the people under the heat over there, please, you got to stop these kinds of stuff. The president have people in place. There were a security apparatus all over the country. They were looking into things, and I want to inform you that most likely I was in there. I don't know them. They don't know me, but most likely the president was in it. People were informing him of what was happening, many to many, and the president have decided to take the higher ground, to be the father of the nation, to be the president of the Republic of Liberia, to be presidential for once, and not Buka dancing on a secret stuff like that. He didn't wait. This is what you and your people need to understand, Mr. So. And I don't blame you, because you're not used to that kind of governing. You people are pretty much strange to this type of governing. Where situation like this, we have to wait until Sunday when the president go to the church and speak on issue. That Liberia will be waiting to
you're not answering my question.
Let the liberal speak, please. Don't do this to me. It's your show. The liberal is on the ground. So the point I'm making here, Mr. So, the president stepped in immediately and informed the Liberian people. He didn't hide anything. Mr. So, maybe this is very strange to you and your folks like you that were calling yourself independent. But yet still, the president, this is a different day. Believe me, we will succeed.
Okay, let's welcome the man from the far right. Amos George is a senior analyst of the Liberal Public Radio based in Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't make it to the finishing line, but that's not so much important now. Mr. George, good evening, welcome.
How you doing, Marley? The Leroy Collins, how you doing?
We are doing great.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good to have you here this Wednesday evening. We're going to be rolling the ball around. Terry, your guy, he did not answer my questions. He decided to deflate, to pivot, to bring in his own talking point. thinking that he's going to get away with it, where he's at liberty to answer if whatever he wants to. But if he doesn't answer our questions, we are under obligation to tell our audience he's not answering the question as it was asked. So let me ask you here. Do you think the president was hand on deck? Did he address this thing? Was that his first time? It was the next day the president addressed the nation. How can a liberal come here to defend the defenseless and telling us, putting us aside as we are not part of the system or we just do not like this government? That's not our argument. We are providing authentic conversation for the good of the country. He doesn't see it that way. He can live it that way. That's okay. But let me just bring you. Is the liberal being honest here?
Well, I think the liberal has his own opinion, and you know, but like I said before, that the president had 24 hours to address the issue, and if he was swift enough, he could have arrested the issue before time. But again, we are only speculating. It could be that the president was advised.
Terry.
Yeah, I come in now. Let me anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you are not here to appease this guy. If you want to go his way, that is okay. You are at liberty to do so. So I don't know where that conjunction "but" is coming from. Is to cave into the liberal.
The "but" here, no, not to cave into the liberal. The "but" here is this: we were not inside, so we all on the outside making our judgment and analysis. But if you hear from what transpired from inside, because Jeremiah Kuhn engaged the people and they opened the road, not only for him, but for
I'm
other
not
people
talking
that were
about
traveling
that.
that same day.
Don't bring that Jeremiah Kuhn here.
No, I come in now.
No, hold on one second.
The people
That
had a
incident, it was sporadic. They were going on all over it. Before Jeremiah Kuhn left the country, the damage was already done. I am asking if the president's hand was on deck to get to our, first of all, to avoid that what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That apparently, the security advisor to the president did not advise him properly.
So the president didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I think not that he didn't know what was going on, but apparently
he's not watching news, right?
The security advisor. I will hold this squarely also on the security advisor to the president. Like what Mr. Mali said. Because the security advisor to the president is supposed to be able to advise the president on security matters in regards to Prince Johnson, whether if this man is, able to handle it. Because what I heard was 12 senators only 12 senators are confirming. The rest of the other senators walked out.
So the president was now, prior to this incident, the president did not watch news. He doesn't know what was going on. Is that an argument?
No, he knew what was going on, but again,
what was his action? What did he do to arrest the situation?
Well, he's the president. He has his own decision to make. He said, "Okay, I will try this thing." All right, and he decided to try it. It didn't work.
Okay, all right. Here we go with a laboratory.
So it does not mean
Terry now is creating a laboratory lab trial and error. I'm going to hold you right there.
To be honest with you, Mr. So, it's a blunder. We must admit to that.
By whom?
All right.
By whom?
By the security advisor to the president or to the entire team is a blunder. Because for one fact is that you don't want to recommend to nominate your defense minister, and then after a few days, the nomination turned on against you.
You are struggling. Yeah, this is not a terror that I know very. You are struggling to make up, to try to mend your voice together, and that's not what I'm going to allow here. So let a liberal intimidate you. I'll come in 1 second, Pat Jones. I'm going to come to you.
Sorry, man. You didn't notice the eye contact. You saw how they were all looking at Terry?
I don't care. Let me break in Amos George and we'll be more illustrative into our conversation. Amos George, I guess you've been monitoring. You find the liberal on this network. The liberal is Terry is walking back. He tries to be politically correct, but struggling trying to find ways to put together. And
so we're moving forward now. We're not going backward.
No, move forward. We need to fix something. Let me bring in Amos Joyce here, and then I will insert in something. Amos Joyce, do you think you listen to the you listen to the Liberal, you listen to Terry? First and foremost, do you think that was the first time the president heard about this? Could he have done anything as the commandant-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia to have put this situation to a rest?
The first, let me say, there were layers of security failure. The government failed. And let me try to break it down. There is no Minister of Justice to advise the president on legal issues. The national security thing failed the president. And that is the government as a whole. But I want to separate some things, and the Liberal continue to hear him since this week pushing this thing, women. This thing was organized. From what I saw, this was not just those women, it was organized. Simultaneously, how these people organize in Banga, how they organize in Grand Gita, how was it done? These are things we look at.
That's true.
It did not happen in the barracks. The black Douala. Is that have anything to do with the barracks? Douala? Across the bridge? No.
Very strategic.
So it was organized. There are hands behind it. And I don't want to quote anybody, but from what I know, the way it was done, it was organized. And if the president is going to get to the ban, they must get to the ban. It was organized. This man has served as what he previous president, chief of staff, not in the army, almost about 18 years. None of the army complained about his leadership as chief of staff. He retires and appointed as defense minister. Then you start hearing murmuring. When we say they don't want him confirmed. Now I try to draw a distinction between two groups here. The widow of the AFL, those people were not part of that group, those are separate. Those people, they're supposed to get a husband benefit if they are demonstrating they got a legitimate cause. These women who took to the street got no cause. They are not employed by the government of Liberia. Their husbands are not dead to say they should get a benefit. They are not beneficiary. Their husbands are employees of the Republic of Liberia. They serve the military. But what these people did, the men are covered, those soldiers who send the women, according to the speech, they are cowards. They knew exactly that if they get any attempt, they would have been charged for mutiny. So what they did, they organized with connive with some people and sending women in front. And this mentality of the Liberian people, oh, you cannot arrest the women, you can't pepper spray them. But these people are not working for the government. You can't come to obstruct my movement because you're mad with the government. No, they block the roads.
My goodness.
Why are they going to go to the Capitol or the Ministry of Defense to demonstrate? Why they have to block the roads that have nothing, obstructing other people's movement? That's disobedient. Those women should have been charged. They are not
charged with what?
For obstructing justice. Move my movement, for obstructing my movement. They are not employees of the government of Liberia. They are not. If you want to demonstrate, go to the Minister of Justice, get a permit to demonstrate. But you cannot jump in the street illegally, obstructing other people's movement to say we are the wives of the army people who.
Are they not the wives? Are they not the wives of the army?
Are they employed by the government of Liberia?
Let's put the conversation.
Let me unpack it. What is the services they're running out to the government of Liberia?
I'm coming now. That's what I'm coming to. We're going to put the conversation into context to see why it was. They enjoys the benefit of their husband.
If the husband even goes on assignment, the husband has to authorize the Minister of Defense to give it.
No. You see?
No. Look, unpack it. It's even that why I made a distinction. The widow of the armed forces of Liberia, those are different groups. They were not part of that group. Those people are entitled to the benefit of their husbands automatically. They are entitled to it. So if the demanding the husband benefit is legitimate, but when your husband is not yet dead, he's living, he's working, what gave you the right to demand his benefit?
Okay, it has happened all over the world. And this is how you guys.
What? Name one country where you said the women demonstrated for their husband.
Nigeria. Listen, I want to tell you that. You see, you are so narrow-minded.
It happened in Nigeria.
I'm not because
in Russia.
I'm not narrow-minded. The thing is, hold on. You use the word narrow-minded. I'm not narrow-minded because what you are doing, you try to circumvent the law.
I said Nigeria. I'm saying this. Now, even in Nigeria, in Russia, the wives of the army went to the Russian authority and told the president, hey, we do not want our husband. In 2014 in Nigeria, the wives of thousands of them went to government and said, hey, we do not want our husbands to go on the war front with this whole Boko. But let's put it into context.
So what happened? Did the government about a year to the women?
And they didn't go. And of course, they didn't go. Well, let's put the conversation in context to see who drops the ball, whether this thing were in isolation, why action was in taking, why they didn't affect their arrest as you claim it. Now, the liberal here, let's watch this and see and take the conversation on.
Explosion chemical in the area. And resulting to sicknesses because of their exposure to the chemical. In addition, the AFL equipment, the AFL engineering equipment are rented to the Bear Mountain mineral companies with monthly rent fees about 10,000 United States dollars directly to his account. This continues with all the local mission duty our husband serve. This is market work, Babunjoro. Johnson used our husband as a private security firm. With money in exchange at all times, without the soldiers benefiting from their labor. Count 2, constant marginalization on merit and economics benefit. With the meager salary our husband working for, they deprive us and our kids through the family for higher education in order to feature benefit as their army was based on merit and college degree. As the sole means for commission promotion, these policies were instructed by the former president, Madam Eddie Johnson Sirleaf. In all policy institutions, in all public institutions, as you are paid by your credentials, no matter your position or job, upon your submission of said credential, upon the assumption of this more than Pharaoh, General Johnson, as the chief of staff, he publicly voiced it out, his opposition to the college degree salary in the military formation. And General Johnson, hereby putting an end to the policy, this is what he always said, not under my watchful eyes, the soldier will graduate and take degree salary in the army. General Johnson denied our husbands their college degree salary and commission officer promotion. He plays mockery of our husbands all the time. When he comes to brief them information that your OOC waiting to be officer, you will sit here and our children will come and I will make them officer and you will salute them. It's a word of Johnson. Because accurate towards the soldiers, he left qualified degree holders in the Army, and recruited college graduates without completion of their degree program. Brought them into the Army, commissioned them, thereby leaving our husbands to salute unqualified officers. People that are older than our husbands and some of their degree in professional. The General Johnson, who we refer to as corruption King Kong, considered unprofessional in the acts fees. Currently, 9 of those officers are undergoing a state managed board of investigation.
Marley Jones.
Yeah.
Marley Jones.
Yeah.
This was done on the Capitol ground, the first branch of government. You saw them in their FT presented a statement to the Senate. If you go further down, even calling on the Senate and asking the president not to nominate this guy. And I see him as a controversial general because he had made some careless statement, but because of the weakness of President George Weah, he let him to get away. This is a chief of staff who's under his watch of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia said publicly that people call on him to overthrow the government. How far did that investigation? That's one thing. That itself, it's a red flag. Do you think that's the Capitol building? It's not beyond a house. People came out and they was voicing out, they was speaking to what they feel. I'm not saying what they are saying is true into it. I have no idea. But the idea, people came out and said, this is what is happening. Do you think enough was done? I'm wondering whether there was enough intervention. Or like, oh, as usual, in the Liberian way, don't matter people, anything they can say, you're going to pass around. Do you think people took time to pay attention to know what was going on, to have avoided what happened to the armed forces date of the Republic of Liberia?
Well, it would be yes and no. You see, when you see the body language of this lady who almost wants to cry, you realize that she's embedded with huge grief. And like they've been grieving over this thing for a long time. Why is it showing up in Joseph Boakai government? Is something to really think about. And I think we need to be very thankful. Very, very thankful. The time Joseph Boakai intervened, the harm would have been done in our country, to be very frank with you. And what the women did, I think we need to learn a lesson from it. The guy went and put their women forward and went to the background watching. It's something to think about. Okay? It's something to really think about. And this thing, as I said, is not an event. It didn't start 1 or 2 days. From what that girl been reading, I know she had gone public. They should have evidence and witnesses to these things. And if it is proven, Johnson should have been arrested instead of asking him to even resign. Right? Moreover,
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. You and I are going to follow. Yeah, because it looks like
let me learn now. Let me learn.
No, that's not here where land people would die. So I'm not going to let it.
No. Let me learn, CEO.
I think you now put your toe in your mouth.
No. Let me learn.
Okay.
They may set the agenda for what happened. Okay, he set this agenda for what happened. This is a time bomb. All right, why he cannot be arrested? Look at everything I get is reading. It's around
Do you have evidence? Do you have evidence?
I come in now. You give me chance. You want to give me chance? You want to take over? Then I'll take over. Then I can yield.
Okay,
this is my view.
Okay,
I mean,
view. Yeah, go ahead,
yes.
John.
So what I'm seeing here is this: they may set this agenda. All right. he's aware of what's going on. But when it was going to happen, maybe he didn't know. He's aware. And if that girl, what she's reading, she's called to parliament to provide her evidence, and people come and testify, the man should be arrested. He set a time bomb to put this country into chaos. All right? So even if the women went to stop this nomination and say, oh, we don't want for the man to be nominated, that was a red flag. Mr. President, are you so passionate and you think that all the Liberian people love you? People come and say, oh, this man here, he cannot go, especially the security sector. That's a red flag. Can you wait and find out why? Do your late investigation? All right? But you still want to go forward. And what I know from the African politics, loyalty is never transferable. Loyalty is loyalty. All right? Okay. So in my own thinking, from my own opinion, if the woman have all the evidence from what she reading there, and I'm sure she had it, this man's resignation should not be accepted. He should have been arrested. Because what I see there, yeah, what Papa George said, they think it's well organized. The damage would have been done long before Joseph Boakai even intervened.
Okay. Good Joseph Boakai didn't appoint you as a justice minister because you're going to cause more problems. You're going to cause more problems. This one, I'm not with you. I'm not with you. You are walking the liberal lie here.
I would have arrested this guy. He caused all the trouble.
You don't have that authority. You try to be a fixer like Ellis Kume now.
You see what the woman talking there? That's similar thing that woman
Mali is a man. Mali is a man.
No, she have. I want to believe.
No.
I want to believe she have evidence. That woman will not just get up and go talk because she want to talk. Even the investigation, nothing was mentioned that they even going to investigate him. Nothing.
So yeah, but it doesn't give you the
no.
You're not in the police or whatever immigration because you will lock people up for no reason.
Set a time bomb. He said
that's not what we are saying. That's not what we are. We're not going to be. We're not just going to affect arrest because somebody says something. If you say, well, the Sunday. And that's what I was asking the liberal, whether the president is isolated from the world, because this thing happens on the ground of the Capitol. And these people in the house there too, they are the being killer of that country. You have military wives coming out in public at a confirmation ground. If you go on further to listen to that, the event also presented something was similar thing was sent to the president. Yet the president too went ahead to appoint this guy. The Senate, who also the president was waiting. He does not want to interfere with the first branch of government. That's a good line of reasoning. But the Senate, the committee, they did do their due diligence to say they had the right to poll who wanted to seek further clarification. That didn't happen. The liberal. I think I have to turn them. I think I have to turn Mali over to you guys because I don't understand.
Mali can't fit in the pot.
No space there.
No space there for Mali.
Okay, yeah, liberal. Listen, is there a change in mind? Do you recognize what those ladies were?
Well, yes, Mr. So, but look, let's take it to a different level. I'm not too sure if I'm audible now, but let's take it to
I know you are trying to find a way things to put together, so you are audible. Just go on. Don't complain.
I know how to talk. I can talk plenty. I don't need to look for words.
When you see him taking deep breath, then he's stuck. He's trying to find a way to get himself out.
So
do you recognize the bidding these people were?
Okay. Look, Mr. So, as I stated, let's take it to the next level. The president of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected, also serving as the chief executive of the executive. You have the lawmakers, you have the judiciary. And the sad thing is, many of the people that are serving, Mr. So, they are all young. In fact, I'll go as much as say many of the people in the Senate and the representative are young enough to be the son of the sitting president. And these people have also witnessed history of the Republic of Liberia, bad or good. And they are educated. Now, they claim that they want to move Liberia to the next level. They all say that. But their action continue to hold us down, pin us down to the position that they like for us to be in. You have a Senate, you have a House of Representatives. In this, not only this type of situation, but what has stopped these people before for having a security hearing, closed door. You don't have to be public, where people will be giving, they will be on an oath to say exactly what they know about the security issue in Liberia. If these people have done this, if they have done their due diligence, most likely these kinds of conversation might not be this much huge and be displayed as such, but many of this information, the security will have those people that are responsible for the security hearing, what have you, they will have a hint on what is happening. Number one. The second thing is, I want to push back strongly on Mr. George's statement of calling these people cowards.
Of course.
These are brothers and sisters that have served and continue to serve.
That has something to do with your work. Your behavior is different.
Mr. So, am I going to talk? Or are you just going to sit there and let him interrupt?
I'm just saying that the behavior was not right.
Mr. So, maybe you're not moving. Are you with us?
I'm not hearing you.
With a so in your iron jacket to know.
All right. Israeli. I hear you, yeah. You're not hearing me. Okay.
What are you saying?
No, never mind. Never mind. That's okay. Mr. George, kindly let me make my statement. I'm not fighting more this evening.
Go
But
ahead.
let me just say this. The president, as I said, let me push back on Mr. George's statement of these people being cowards. These people are serving in the military. When there's a war or there's any issue, they are the first to run in the front line. Okay? They will not sit down when bullets are flying. When some of us are running away, they are going there. They are not cowards. The reason, if you listen to the other lady yesterday that made that statement, if you listen to her, what she said was very interesting. So we are here to make sure our husbands are calm and ready to serve. If you have an agitated army, you don't have a safe country, the lady stated, which is a true statement. So by these ladies coming out on behalf of their husband, it serves two purposes. One is to make sure they make the noise that they needed to make without gun being behind them. The second thing, they're serving as a conduit between us and the husbands who had the guns. So for you to sit here and call them cowards because they have the brave lady.
Yeah.
Mr. George, please, you can't do this. You can't interrupt. We're not in Grand Gila County. This is America. You're not in you're not in
No, Samson, hold on one
please
second.
don't interrupt.
No, you say you
Grand Gila hold on. Coming from Grand Gila, you come in and try to disturb you. I beg you. Don't bring up some business here. That's not what we do here. So let me
hold on. Yeah, hold on one second before you speak.
My time over?
No, your time is not over. Let me just put you in check because you better sound ridiculous here. The other day you declare your whatever citizenship with Lofa. They're not Grand Gila. They're not Grand Gila business we're talking here. So don't even start. Don't go there here this evening before we get into something. Or you say you are Lothian now. So that Lofa talk. They're not Grand Gila talk here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but then control the crowd, man, so that at least the local man can speak. Okay. So let me go on. So the point here is these ladies did a wonderful job. Now their tactics, I don't agree with it. But the mere fact they were there as a buffer zone between us and the people with guns, I appreciate that. And these are some of the things the smart leaders the like of Ambassador Baca took on. Now, Terry made a statement to say perhaps that the security apparatus have failed. Yes, possibly. But I will say again, in all of the situation that was going on that time, I am sure Ambassador Baca was in close contact with the police director. There was no Minister of Justice to turn to at the time. But I'm sure the rest of the security apparatus were in touch with President Baca to make sure to report to them. People were on the ground.
What did he do to avoid that situation? They were in contact with him. You know, you always like to make excuses where it shouldn't be. So, they were in contact. You know, no, listen, we got to be honest. If President Baca, was in contact with the police, we saw that happening in real time on the ground of the Capitol. And you want to be the fixer here.
So what's your point? What's your point?
My question is, if he were in contact, what did he do to avoid the incident from happening?
But I'm coming to that. I'm definitely sure he was in contact. And the conversation, my speculation, are these women breaking anything? No. Are these women hurting anybody? No. But they're sitting on the ground, blocking the road. Okay, we can deal with that. And when the right movement came in, as a leader, Mr. So, you find the right mix so that you do not have issues that will affect the entire country. So when he find all of the apparatus that was operating this one set-in issue, he decided it was time to move. That's what a leader does. And he came in and let's praise him. Let's stop this money quarterback.
I'm not gonna praise him. I'm not gonna praise him.
Cower and all that kind of stuff. Let's stop that kind of stuff. LPR is known for the intellectualism that we have on this platform. Why are we going to call our own brother and sister a cow and all that kind of stuff? And then you have malice of all people. But I'm not surprised. This is a guy who's been preaching on LPR and he has not been sanctioned once. He's been preaching capital punishment and you have not sanctioned him. Now today, he's want to arrest the former chief of staff. Are you kidding me?
Okay, you know what?
You are a banana republic. This is not the country where Noriega was held in Panama. This is not Panama. This is not Nicaragua. This is the Republic of Liberia, where rule and law is governing. Mr. So, please, let's have a good show.
Okay, shame on you. You are just unable to address the questions. You are unwilling to admit that the president kicked the can down the road. He did not address the question, the issue, hands down, and you try to bring in Mali, getting out Amos Joy. Amos Joy,
yeah.
This is the liberal. This is how he behaves every day, every event on this network, unable to call out the person that he even supports. Typical Liberian politician, very unapologetic, to admit the wrong. How can this guy be a help to this president?
No, I mean, he will have to plunge the country into more trouble. Because Samson does not believe in accountability. This is the problem. There are many Liberians just like Samson who does not believe in accountability.
Where are you running going?
Look at the issue these women raising. Is that the place? Some of the issues they're raising. Now, if the men had the kind of documents that the army is receiving X number of, General Johnson have been receiving this kind of 10,000. All these things they're talking. There's a chain of command in the army. These officers would have followed it. Go through the chain of command. But they decide to say, oh, they're going to take a back door and send in women. That's a cowardly thing. I'm talking about something that I will continue to say. This man, 18 years, he been in the army. 18 years. So none of them were able to say, but you know what happened? This is not wrong. We got to approach authority. None of them will do it. Except the women now, they come to use at this time. And look at the time, the timing. The country is a volatile situation. You got many of the cabinet ministers are not in place. Look at the race. Many of the cabinet ministers are not in place to do this thing. And someone want to put a salad dressing on it. No. The army, I'm not saying they don't have a problem. They have a problem. But there's a channel they can channel those. There's a channel to channel those problems through.
What's the channel?
The chain of command in the army. There's a chain of command in every organization.
What does the chain of command?
Report for your complaint to your superior. There's a chain of command. Maybe if there's a captain, he go to the mayor. There's a mayor, his supervisor in charge. To the corner, there's a chain of command.
One here, Amos Joy.
No, let me say now. No.
Allow a reasoning here.
Hold on, let me ask you. Hold on. So you tell me there's no chain of command in the army or any institution, there's no chain of command? Is that
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but then why are you asking about chain of command? The chain of command
the reason I'm asking, the reason I'm asking you, this has to do with the highest, one of the highest person within the defense. I'm telling you, it's not between a major or colonel or private to say, go to the captain, go to the colonel. This is the chief of staff of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia.
So therefore, the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia cannot be wrong. So the ornament, he can do anything and get away with it in the army.
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's a scenario trying to draw you.
You're not listening. You got to make power with everybody here.
Say the chief of staff, so no patrolman, no patrol, no sergeant, no lieutenant supposed to complain him because he's the chief of staff. So he above everybody, he above the law. That's why that scenario.
Who you think? No, listen. Who you think they're supposed to complain to?
You got to provoke marshal. That's what it is. You have to look at the menu of the army, the chain of command. If you are reporting someone, is there every institution has a chain of command? How sure are we? Have you listened to the details of it? Don't go to the hypothetical. They didn't follow it. So don't go to the hypothetical.
Look at yourself, Mr. George. Okay. 1 minute you call them cowards of sending their wives. Another minute you want them to follow the chain of command.
But they didn't follow it. That's what makes them travel. That's what I'm saying. They didn't follow it.
Mr. George, you rather be ridiculous like something.
No, because you're sounding ridiculous, but when I ask the question now, then you're trying to shift it. I'm asking you can't say so they didn't follow it. They didn't follow it, and there was no redress.
Of course, they said they did follow it.
But George,
the people complain several times. This is why they are calling.
To whom? To whom?
To the same chief of command you're talking about.
Terry,
and they were not giving.
Don't sound ridiculous. You said they said. You don't have any evidence. If one person saying something.
Evidence.
What's the evidence? What is the evidence that you have?
That's what I'm saying. I said, did they follow command?
What is the evidence you have that they didn't?
You have already rendered judgment on the people.
And that's what we're telling you.
But yes,
you're being judgmental. We
are
not
being judgmental. The fire is you are part of the problem. You don't want to accept the fire. If you feel saying that these people follow the channel,
all the open we need to remind
then that's a different thing. But everything you're speculating. The women speaking, you say, oh, they say. You got no evidence.
Mr. George,
George, is he not legendary again?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's what I'm asking then. It's a woman saying, it's not evident. It's just hearsay.
Amos George.
It has not been substantiated.
I said, CEO wives. Then you say that hearsay.
Amos George can't eat all the time.
So tell because your web says something, so it's 100% correct because your web said it.
That's not what we're saying.
No, but Terry said
99.9%
okay, listen now. Let's make progress. We are saying when somebody comes out and make a complaint and make it more or less official to a special branch of government, it means they have exhausted all protocols. Even at the end of that position statement. Hold on 1 second. They outlined 10 points for which they even also informed the presidency not to appoint this guy.
Can I give a flashback?
For
his point of information.
Mr. So this is why I told you there was a layer of failure. If these people allegedly made any complaint to the president and that of the Senate, or what the guy from Lofani, Saros,
there was a meeting here with Saros.
Sarah is the chairman on Senate Committee on Security.
And there was a meeting held.
And I learned that he even went to the barracks. He spoke to these people. I think one of the barracks from he spoke to them. So the question that was asked from the initial, there was a layer of failure. Whether the allegation is true or not, they should have put a hold on the confirmation of that man and try to do some deeper inquiry before confronting the man. But they didn't do it. Those are some of the failures I talk about. Because that complaint a year said.
Okay.
So,
all right.
All this was say, hold on, we hear you people. We're going to do our own investigation and we'll get back to you people.
Okay.
But nobody did it. That was it. There was a layer of failures.
Mali, I think
it doesn't give people right to black rolls.
Okay. Mali, I think you wanted to like somebody up. This guy needs to be locked up. Amos Joy needs to be locked up. Terry, let me just bring you.
I think you need to be on a house arrest.
Good. But you see, Mali different. Divide from your lock up and house arrest are two different things.
Yeah, but from there, then we will escalate it to different levels.
Yeah, I wanted to give a flashback on, even though I don't like to mention this guy's name, but I have to. Abraham Godson William. During that election, he highlighted some very essential things that is something that's similar to what the woman was just explaining about. And he said those were things that were happening in the military. And he challenged General Johnson, or chief of staff, former chief of staff of the army. And that took his boss, which happens to be the NSA boss, in person of what his name, Sam Sion. And when Sam Sion went to the barracks, he was placed in a container.
He was arrested. Yeah.
He was arrested and placed in a container for several hours under the heat. And people thought that it was an inhumane treatment given to him. But that particular thing died down. So what we say, apparently these people have been channeling their grievances for a period of time. But again, President, we are government, were very careless. They never listened to nobody. They never did any investigation. They were not a responsible government that looked into things properly according to the law. Otherwise, this woman would not be reading a pamphlet.
Come on, Terry, where you coming from?
Before the Senate.
Terry,
are coming.
Stop it. What the Bwaka government did with the complaint from these women? What did these people do?
Listen now, that's what I'm telling you.
No, you didn't tell you. Don't
give me chance.
Don't go to
the complete is not a justice. Give me chance now. You say you are investigator. The complaint, does it mean is the complaint an investigation?
The complaint can lead to investigation.
No, not lead.
Yes.
Is it an investigative report?
It's not an investigation, but it leads to investigation.
Yeah, but it is not substantial.
Hold on there. You
gotta arrest the situation.
Yeah, but give me chance.
No. Don't muddy the water here. Don't muddy the water here. Don't muddy the water. Before it becomes substantial energy, you have to investigate. When there's no investigation, it's an allegation.
That's what I'm saying. That President, we are government did not do investigation.
No, don't get it. You're not seeing the same thing. What I try to tell you, don't tell me about we are government that they didn't do anything. Your government, they pay a letter complaint to them. To the president.
Do they have any investigation?
Hold on. They complain to the president, they complain to the Senate on security, and they went out and confront the man. Why would you come and say that?
Was it investigated?
Because if you want to make your police director, we would have serious trouble in Liberia.
First of all, Mr. So, these people never had any substantial fact-finding information.
That's right.
The woman is reading from a pamphlet that she alleged that she claimed that what Prince Johnson did. How sure are we? This is what he did.
That's why you should have put a hold on that confirmation and do an inquiry.
Now, okay, hold on, Mala Jones. Yeah. You see the reason what I said. Two of us voices matters on this network.
Yeah.
Amos Joyce is having a true confession now. He's trying to get out the questions, the answer you were trying to avoid. He's shopping it in the throat of Terranon. So let me come to you. Yeah,
no, so I'm not shopping that the man will put his own question also. So I'm not shopping it. He put it also.
You guys talk, so Terry too came in to be the rescuer, so you throw it back in his face, so he laying back now, he's all done. Yeah, and that's what I said. President Boycott.
I just
President
want to
Boycott
continue back and forth.
We're not talking about George Weah again, because
No.
at this point, George Weah is, and I said that here the other day, if there was a ball of fire across the border with Guinea or Sierra Leone or Cote d'Ivoire, we don't want to call George Weah.
No.
The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. Let me bring in Mary Jones. Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be, yeah.
Yeah, I think this also takes me back to what I voiced on this platform once upon a time. There is a need for a very serious internal security sector reform.
Reform, yeah.
I see the president, His Excellency, President Boakai, he's taking, doctor. He's taking things for granted. Liberia is not a normal place right now. But my question to the liberal and calling is this. When the women call that a man should not be confirmed, did they raise any red flag to anybody, including the president? And the president still went ahead to appoint this guy.
You want me to answer that question because I will answer it for you.
Yeah, please, Terry. Please, Terry.
Hold on. You the rescuer, you don't have 2A. There's time for you to talk.
Okay. Then let me just finish with all the questions. Maybe you can scramble over that. The issue of we investigating George Weah now is like wasting sand on the beach. All right. There were little red flag here. Nobody paid attention to it, including the president. Because I want to now believe the president thinks everybody in Liberia love him. That's why I think, that's why he's feeling right now. And I don't want him to feel that way. Okay. And the next thing I see President Dr. Boakai doing now, because it's like he and Joe, we are competing on our title now. They quickly taking the title and putting it on their shoulder. Anyway, what I see here now is this. What I see now here, CEO, is this. Whenever the people raise red flag, it's like everybody just sit down. And I see Dr. Boakai putting more effort to pack his government with wolf in sheep clothing than sheep. And those seeing sheep will turn around, those seeing wolf will turn around and start eating the sheep around him. The time he intervened into this thing, damage would have been done in our country. Some people even say, oh, the police should have gone. Let me tell you something. If the police had gone to intervene, stepping there, those guys were just standing by using these women. All right? That thing that woman was reading, they prepare everything. So if someone said, oh, they didn't have the face to come out, they didn't have the face to come out. Look, what the guy did, it was very sensitive. And it was tactical. You see, we need to pay attention to it. But if this announcement was made by the women, said, don't confirm this man, I think as a wise president, not forget about the house. The house carrying on a duty. All right? The president would have stopped this appointment. The man will still go by later on and go find out what is the problem. This is security. It's not like the other sector. This is security. This is the armed forces of Liberia. You see? So you rather take that time.
Is it armed women or Liberia now?
Okay. You see? Just take your time and find out what's going on. But as I said,
is armed women or Liberia now?
Yeah,
George, let the man finish his statement. He doesn't need help.
But he's not complaining. So I don't know why am I getting your flesh tonight?
So CEO, so I want to conclude on this, that in the future, who knows? The Civil 7 may be having a time bomb. Since November last year, they didn't pay yet. That noise is in the town. Is the president listening to it? Is he hearing it? Or you awake again?
Go ahead, answer the two questions.
Okay. Before Terry answer this question, you
another
want to say
demonstration,
something?
Alain, is pending.
Let me see.
Another demonstration, Alain, is pending.
We'll
Okay,
deal
hold on
with
one
it.
They
Okay.
were saying that the women will get in the street again.
Tetra, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
All right,
go ahead
Lebron,
quickly. Let's
DVA.
bring you this happening news. Go ahead quickly.
So just the thing here, I think we're not getting the actual point here. In the president's speech, the president recorded message to the country. He admitted that he knew about the situation. The people went to him, they did him due diligence by informing him about this plight, by telling him this man should not be appointed nor confirmed by the Senate. These are things that were hanging. He knew everything, but when you listen to him, he said we knew it, but we were not ready to do anything about it.
No.
I think what the army did was very good for our
That's
country
not true.
by not coming on the street to take over and overthrow this government, but by sending the wise was say, look, tell these people what we are faced with. And Mr. So, I'm telling you, way before this government came to office, I got people that live in the shuffling barracks that tell me things that I was like, wow. I'm talking about military women, not men, or women that in the military. They tell me things that I'm like, wow. So it's not something that just started in this administration. It started back in we as administration. All right. But it was the army, that thing when they say, oh, team of command. No, the people were following order. When the chief of staff was he's the highest man in the army. They were following his order. When he left the scene, when he retired, if was the Senate man retired now, is off our back. That's good. I mean, we can channel our grievances through the new government and see they can fix it. But then you want to bring this man and put him as defense minister? We said no.
Okay.
I think it's something that we can applaud. But now the president is trying to witch hunt by saying the people that did bad things in the army and president, we are brought them back in the army. They're going to investigate. No, you.
President will not brought them back.
He wants
So we need to erect checkpoint in anything that man talking.
And brought his government to popular ridicule because they didn't have the
CDC.
The prosecutor, and that's a very dangerous line he's running.
Okay, let's bring this happening news. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, we want to bring this news is yet to be confirmed. We'll try to reach out to the authorities, everybody tip light on it, but we are not getting little information, the detail of the president trip to Ghana. Again, it yet to be confirmed by the executive marshal or the presidential spokesperson. They are not responded to our call, but we are hearing sources close to this information. I am not happy as a Liberian to the president. We are not hearing there was the president's visit to Ghana was more or less medically related. It was a foreign doctor, specifically we've been told from the US, why the president have gone there, which of course is not a bad thing. But we are coming to this point when Kennedy came to the United States again, we saw this mismanagement of information. It reminds me of this whole scenario in the book, Liberty Hijack, how the late President Tubman, people mismanaged him, and he was leaving, going to places without the country knowing. If this information is true, I don't see the reason the president can go for a medical visit. The president can move in the executive mansion. There should be a physician to the president. Nothing is wrong with that. But this convoluted press statement coming, we're now being told that the first statement came from Anthony Kesselit, your friend and patron, who was a deputy designate for public affairs. That is a serious thing. And this is where we saw the two distinctions of the press release coming. If this information is true, then there is a need that the press. I have a text exchange with Ikula, very forceful in terms of information sharing. But I can say it, there could be a potential problem if Kessely will now more or less be playing the role of a presidential press secretary then that's a serious problem. Let's have a conversation. We're going to be coming to that, and that of the president's speech. Of course, there was something mentioned. Terry.
Yeah.
Let me bring you in this. And we yet the executive mentioned authority close to this, yet to confirm that. But this is what we are hearing, because little detail been coming in, and we are being watching, getting more information how the statement came out from Kesley and was put out as if Kula, and later on Kula came out. It brings us to the point when he was then Kennedy here. He came to the States. There was a lot of mixed messaging, information sharing was not forceful. If this is true, eventually, if it comes out, what is the deal? The president can go for checkup. The president can, everybody goes for medical routine. Why politicians do not want to come honest? And later on, we verify here, it was proven that yes, he did visit the Royal Highland Hospital. That was 2 days, which is okay. Why they couldn't come off of now he's an asset to the Republic of Liberia, not one party. Is it a big deal if the president goes out for medical routine visit? What is the deal? They don't have to tell us the detail. Or maybe someone, a physician can move in the official residency of the president, which happens to be the executive mansion. What is the big deal?
Well, I don't think if that information is true, which I doubt it is, I don't really think that, the president should be hiding. He have no reason to hide if he have a medical checkup. But clearly, when the president came from the United States, he was interviewed on the airport when he was president-elect, and he told the journalist clearly that he went to America and did his physical, he did his checkup. And so he didn't hide it, But
so
the
why it wasn't announced?
That's what I'm saying, Mr. So that whether the information you are providing to us, how rooted it is, how guaranteed, because if you want for us to build our analysis on an information that is not clearly proven, it's going to be something that we're just going to be mesmerizing around. But if that information you are presenting is true, which I doubt it is,
I don't see anything. To be honest, nothing wrong with that. I am asking, and not just only President Boyka, but people are not forthcoming with information. And we saw that happening in the past.
There have been fluctuation of people talking here and there. Let me tell you something, Mr. So it happened in all government, even chancellor government. There were misinformation coming from everywhere, and everybody saying all kinds of things. The problem here we need to understand here is this, right? The information that is presented to us from the executive, you guys are journalists, you guys go beyond the situation and facts find it. Like the last time Ronnie see it on that information he broke with the central bank. All right. If you are providing this information and it is true, I don't see anything wrong with the president, with people hiding the president checkup. The man is old. Everybody in the country know that he's old. Everybody know he has a medical condition. If he have a doctor, there is no need for him to even fly to Ghana. The doctor can come to Liberia and do the checkup right in his house.
That's what I'm saying. So
you understand? And let the country be informed.
Exactly. Okay. Let's push here around. Again, we're going to be having this conversation. Look, it's about the country, and I think we want some sort of honesty on the part of our politicians. I can go for checkup. You can go for checkup. You don't have to come and give me your medical dossier to say, oh, this is what. But when you announce these things, when you talk about it, and I mean, you get it, you avoid too much of questions than answers, then a lot of the unknown. We saw the 2 statements coming from the executive mansion. And if you look at past history, I see the Liberal is folding his hands. Let's get him involved into this conversation, please. And then I want to bring in Amos Joy. The Liberal Progressive.
Yeah, Mr. So, you're really pushing my button right now. Because first of all,
let's get it right. It's not about you. So you don't have no button.
I got button to be pushed. First thing first. This is a government of respectable government. They have system. If the president was leaving to go to medical treatment in Ghana, what have you, they would have told you so.
Right.
Now you think because of these fly by night news people in Liberia coming and telling us all kinds of story, and you want that to be talked about here? There's no evidence to that. The president went, even the news coming from Ghana, that the president of the Republic of Liberia was in Ghana. If he was in a hospital, I'm sure by now the Ghanaians newspaper would have.
I didn't tell you say you were in a hospital.
Look, let's get off that stuff. Let's go back to what we know to do about the army people business. Forget about the hospital stuff. Anyhow, I want to thank all of you. It's time, bedtime anyway. I want to thank all of you for allowing me the opportunity to be on here tonight, but I'm going to have to excuse myself because it's 7 o'clock. And so, but before I leave, as member of the LPR family, I will vote vehemently disagree that this subject matter must be discussed here tonight. I will say we drop that because it doesn't bode well for us to speculate on the health of our president when we know very well that this is not even true. Let us don't put ourselves in the gutters. Please, we're better than that. Good night.
Okay, you say you want to go to bed, and that's fine. That's not there's nothing here. We discuss all issues here, whether we agree or disagree, but it's been discussed in the civil context. So there's nothing like a vote. Nobody going to go to parliament for that here. Amos George.
Yes. When the president was leaving the country, how he left? Was he giving the 21 gun salute, or how he left?
Look, when you come back, why give it to you?
No, normally when the person goes,
does it mean because you didn't leave with 21
Yeah,
or 31 or 40?
I know where you going.
What does it mean? So I don't have much detail, and so I don't know how the president left the country. So, but what I know, if the president is leaving the country, it is incumbent upon the government to inform the Liberian people that the president is leaving.
Right.
Going to social country for whatever.
I agree with you.
I don't want you to agree with me. I just said I don't want you to agree with me. Because they think you can't talk, they ask you, you can't talk it, you're trying to go somewhere else to dodge the question instead of people answering the way, but it's not your business. This is not no. I ain't come for that thing here. I'm just talking about what is illegal, what is appropriate to be done. Because Honorable Boakai is no more a property of himself. He's now the property of Liberia. We pay him. We take care of his security. We feed him. We transport him. We lodge him.
Yeah.
So at that point, legal, morally, his own obligation to tell every step he takes.
There's a report on an executive marshal website.
Something you said you're going to bed. Can you say you're going to bed? Are you stop interrupting, please? You say you're going to bed. What are you still doing here?
Something to the executive mansion, it is a good place. But how many people have access to internet in Liberia? The 3.5 million, 5 million people got access to internet.
So you want him to go to each of the 5.7 million and tell them I'm going to Ghana? Is that what you want him to do?
You know why? Don't interrupt me. You will not distract me.
Oh.
So what you do?
Now you know.
What you do? That why you got LDS, you got Linda, and you got the Ministry of Information. Linda is the one that feed all the outlets, supposed to feed all the international local outlets. Linda. LPS is supposed to broadcast it. EFP is supposed to carry it. So with that, those who don't have access to internet, but have access to reader will get the information that the president is out of the country. When you put in the executive mansion website, you and I got access to it. But everybody in Liberia has access to it? No. So it's not fair to say it's on the executive mansion website. That's why we build an institution to distribute information, to stimulate information. That is their job. If those institutions are not there, then there's a different issue. So I just want to say this. I don't like to talk about people's health, but if the president, for his position now, there's nothing wrong to say, hey, he went for brief medical checkup in Ghana. There's nothing wrong with that. The government of Liberia showed that bill. That part of the immunity he enjoyed as being elected as president. That part of it, if he's sick, the Congress should take care of him. if you're going for checkup, the country should, but let him just inform the people who is living in charge of the cabinet. That is what we need from a responsible government, because these are the things we frown on the past government for. So if we want to make it right, then it should not be about sentiment. It should not be about partisan. Let us do it right. That's why I say about it. Let us do it right so we can move forward. And he has said that he's not going to hide any secret. But let me say this. You do not blame the press secretary or any other person, because the president is the one who's supposed to give that go ahead.
Right.
Secretary. The press secretary cannot just get up and say, oh, the president traveling. No. They have to, he or she, they have to give her that package before she put it out there. And to close on this thing, you saw the defense minister, Lord Austin of the United States, the last time he went to the hospital, did not tell the president for 2 days. The president got to know. Republicans were calling for him to resign. So this time, before he went to the hospital, it was immediately put out that Lord Austin is in the hospital for some treatment. The whole world got to know it. Nobody said he should resign. The president will not ask him to resign. He made the country to know. So these are the things. Be proactive with this information, Terry. Something to tell your president. Tell our president that they be proactive. There's nothing wrong with him saying he's going to Ghana for checkup. Period.
But
Okay,
that information is not true. We don't know whether it's true or not.
So that's not what we. That's not actually the argument here. How it came into being. That's the questions. And we look at the power history. It's not just only President Boyka alone. People, when you are an official, you don't wait until something gets in the news cycle before you put out a statement that becomes more or less
That's the part I agree with, Mr. So. But the other part,
statement, and when you see politicians, when they put out these sort of convoluted statement, then there is something that needs to be explained, which they don't usually explain. And we saw that, we're seeing these things happening over and over. Tubman did that. It was mismanaged. And how can he just left and people didn't know what happened? And that's how come it happens, why it happened. He is the
what happened? It happened.
You don't know what happened to Tubman?
I know he died, but let us know. Let your audience know.
That was
just say it happened. Why it happened?
It went for surgery.
So I mean, that's what we are saying. So these things, when there's information, people do not wait until it gets in the media, because I don't care what happens. This information can leak, and it comes from right within the system. So we are saying it's better here soon you address this information, and nothing wrong with that. There was a physician. I think he should move in their mansion and they should have a physician where they can look at the president. It doesn't matter his age. But let me break in Malik Jones before we wrap out here. Samson told, when we're talking this thing, you put your feelings aside. They're not you alone, president.
This is not a true statement. That's what I don't want LPR to discuss.
You get a habit. No, you can't tell her what to discuss, not to discuss. When it comes to us, we will put it out and we'll give it a fair discussion. This is how you people behave, and your drives good people.
We are just saying.
And when time comes,
we are just saying it is true.
After you speculated for almost 5 minutes, then you say you're saying?
No,
after you not putting the yes and the mind of the Liberian people, that the president went for medical attention.
No.
That's not what you're saying.
Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow to let us know that yes, indeed, this is not a true statement.
So you don't know he's back. You don't know he's back. That's not what Amos Joyce is saying. Please cool it down a little bit.
Mr. So, it is true. That statement you read is very true, and it will come out again on the Liberia. I mean, it will come out. The press secretary will read it on the everyone will be there. But it's true.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I mean, I don't just talk anything here for entertainment. And like I said, let me just bring in Malik Jones. Time is over. That guy say he want to go to bed. I don't know why he's here doing it. Tomorrow is Friday, Saturday. You'll be killing your group. So I see why he wants to go to bed. Malik Jones.
Yeah, I think His Excellency, the rescue chief, is still playing into the playbook of the outgoing government. And we said this outgoing government was taking the country in a wrong direction, and that was one of the wrong direction. Tablet on information. If it is true, those medical physician or doctor that flew from the United States or whatsoever to go to Ghana, they did not go on the generosity of the president. And they did not fly there because they get so much money to go to Ghana. They want to see the president face. No, white men let Jaffe, they let cash. They might have gone there on taxpayer money. I read a release when Joseph Boakai went to Ghana in a New Dawn newspaper. There was an analysis about a trip. First of all, 3 things were missing. The press couldn't get 3 things. The number of delegation up to today, we don't know. They say the trip was official. And they say he was expected to meet President Kufuor.
That
right?
did not happen.
Yes.
It didn't happen.
So I think where we're coming from here is that Dr. Boakai has put himself on a pedestal. He has put himself high up there. He transparent. He a lot of stuff. He open. So just President Boakai will have to come out officially to tell us whether he have a health condition. We don't know. We're all just speculating every day. We don't really know. Okay? When he came from the United States, that's what Terry said. He said he went for physical. When he went, he did his physical when they push him around. We here in the United States, you know, Terry, I know physical is different from medical checkup, oh man. Yes. You going for a job, you go do your physical. Whether you get a problem, they detect that problem. But when you go for medical checkup, there are possibility you lay down on the bed and they're going to put something over you. So that's a too serious problem there. So the president will have to come clear to us. There are no problem with it, as the CEO said. Okay? The only problem now is the rescue team will be embarrassed if the president continues to take persistent and constant medical visit, because we keep speculating that he not well and he in denial of that. I give him the benefit of the doubt. Like I think it was as Mr. Joe or something said, the press secretary, there are some sensitive things they got to cross-check it with the president, no matter what.
You can put it
yes.
out. Unless
they got to cross-check it with the president, or else they will be beating around that particular thing. And health, it happened in Nigeria, is one of them. Okay, so is the president prepared to come clean to the Liberian people, gentlemen? This is my health issue. I want you to know about it. Sometime I will be traveling out of this place, because he said everybody should go to JFK. He's going to improve that place. JFK not improve here, but they're going to Ghana, and the white people coming from America going down there. That taxpayer money now going to bring the problem in here. Yes.
Well, the Liberian people sign off for that. The
No.
The president told that he's sick.
Let me, Pajo. I'm being harassed. So what I'm seeing here is this.
That your man rousing you, then you say you're being harassed. You should be liking it.
This thing is not going to end. More is going to come. More trip going to come. Because when the president was leaving, according to what I read in the New Dawn newspaper, they left the presidential affairs minister in charge, in consultation with the VP. You see that? You see the kind of arrangement? I read it vis-a-vis. All right. So the president will have more trip to go on. They just got to be clear with us about these things. So if the president's sick, let you tell the nation.
Okay.
But from now on, I show we are all just speculating. Along Joseph Boakai had not told all he's sick, we can't say he's sick. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to be wrapping up. And Keto, you wanted to say something before we go?
Yes. So you know, Mr. So Liberia is our country. We must be, we must stay away from the individual stuff, because we did it doing a job, we are administration, and do find out that we were too attached to President. We couldn't see nothing he did was wrong. And I agree with them.
Are you confessing, Keto? Is that a confession?
But this is what happened. The same thing that they accuse of, it's the same thing they're doing here. It's from the very get-go of this administration. They lie to the Liberian people.
So you're doing it right?
No, I'm not doing everything there. That's what they accuse her of doing.
The one I'm asking you,
so they accuse us of doing it. And when they accuse us, since they keep the rescue, they should do the right thing. And they should stop that. From the very get-go of this administration, the people started to lie to the Liberian people. When they meant he is straight to America, and they lie, say you are coming to meet business people and do. He came in for medical, they lie. When he went back, he said, yes, I came to do medical. Now, he was going to Ghana, they lied to Liberian people and said he go on a friendly visit to visit his brother and friend. Nana is not in Ghana. Nana is out of Ghana. He went there on a medical or visit to Ghana. Tell the Liberian people, the president, that because the tension is too much for the old man.
Had Joe Biden told the world that he get dementia?
Anybody, when you sick and then this president is still, every now and then you'll be going for check. Instead of your people coming to embarrass him and embarrass the government by lying. And when you lie, like when somebody said on the platform, you giving CDC the chance to run with the narrative that he carried all along, that this man, this is a sick old man, he has a pacemaker. The same thing his godfather for his company, the vice president said, these are all the narratives that are going to be coming out, and they're going to embarrass them, and they're going to make a United Party supporters and surrogates mad because they do not have the tolerance to accept these things. Like Mr. Toll, who quick to go off when you bring this stuff up, they quick, the battery quick to run there, and other people quick to get feeling. So these are the things you're talking about. The lies and deception, Let's have to call it for what it is. Maybe they're going to change, but if you start to sugarcoat it, it's going to be a trend that will follow for a very long time, and it could be disastrous.
Thank you so much. Well, folks, it is what it is. LPR is a network. We don't really bring feelings here. I don't really care how Samson told feels because something is being discussed. We are talking for the good of the country. I want my president. It's not your president. So if you think you are the rightful owner, well, you are living in illusions. That's not the case. All we want our president to be in good health. We want our president to address national issue as he's been doing, which is great. And we want to see that happening. But when there's a question, when this issue comes about, we will discuss it in civil context with respect.
Let me ask you this, Mr. So, please.
No, you don't. You told me say you are going. You said you were not. No. Listen. No. Listen. Hold on 1 second. I'm serious. You don't see me.
We are. What makes you think that the American doctor are going to leave and go to Ghana, and they can't come to Liberia for medical?
Liberia don't have the facilities.
Mr. Joyce, I'm not talking to you, Mr. So. What makes you think we'll go to Ghana instead of Liberia? Is it because Liberia do not have a better health system? And what makes you think President Baka is going to Ghana for medical treatment that he and his people will try to hide it? Who are they afraid of?
The question is for you. So when we're having this conversation, you should have the tolerance for us to discuss it. And don't think by you holding your forehead and you're freaking out, you're going to scare people away. No, I'm not talking about you. If there are a health issue, then you get all right to throw unnecessary tantrum.
He's the father of the nation.
We are talking about the president. I understand. We are talking about the president of the Republic of Liberia. Just how you are concerned, I am concerned. We might have a different views, opinion. You took a side, I didn't take a side, but we want to have a conversation. When the vice president leave, and the president leave, the vice president out, we want to know who runs the affairs of the state. And when you say you go on an official or something, you will outline when it is official. It means you're going to attend an official. You will tell her exactly what you're going to do and communicate with Kama. We're now getting the note. He never met the president of Ghana. So there are more questions need to be answered. So by you getting in feelings here, it don't mean anything to me. And nobody want to pay attention for that because you are not the owner of President Joseph Boyka. The Republic of Liberia, the Liberian people, President Boyka is the asset to us, all of us. So don't get in your feelings when we come to this sort of conversation, okay? It's about Liberia. It's about Liberia. You know what's your problem?
let me just close so I can leave. So let
All
me
right.
say,
No, I didn't close first.
No,
Let him
no,
close.
no.
Yeah,
We're done.
because
You've been going ever
yeah,
since. I don't know why you're
yeah,
doing it.
you
I
say
can't
you're
hear you.
quickly. Let me say this. So Malice, Honorable Bwaka told her he's a sick person. So there's no need to can't say he had not told the Liberian people. He told us.
No.
Well, Malice.
Okay. I'm not going to relegate this.
Yeah,
Let's
I
continue
mean,
the conversation on
there's
Friday.
nobody. There's
We're
nobody.
already 10:30,
Yeah,
10:23.
there's nobody who has a pacemaker to say, "Oh, I'm not sick." There's a reason you have it, and the president told the Liberian people on 50-50. He said it
That
that he has a pacemaker. He said it. So
it doesn't mean he's sick.
man, Mali.
But somebody have a pacemaker doesn't mean he's sick, Mr. Mali.
No.
Mali,
Is that a normal? Is
The
that a
old people
normal health?
here, these
The
old people.
president should simply tell us
You're
having a heart problem. Simple
Mali,
and short.
Mali.
It's a pacemaker. When are you decorating the signal pacemaker? That's not
Mali.
enough information for the
Man,
Liberian people.
Mali,
I
you be
said
telling
no.
me, Mali.
So you
Mali.
want
But
him to
George,
publish
I
No,
disagree
Mali.
with
medical
you.
records?
I don't
Mali,
need to say
but
anything
Mali,
anymore.
I understand you can disagree, but I mean that phrase you usually sound ridiculous. Don't say he decorating I mean, Mali, don't use
No,
that.
you say
Man,
pacemaker. That means he decorating the sickness.
no, Mali, it's not for decoration.
No, but pacemaker does not mean the papa is sick.
Mali, what are you talking about?
I'm talking exactly what I'm
That
talking.
is something that assists the man's heart. If you are normal, why would the doctor?
How many Liberians in Liberia know the explanation you bring in there? People will be pondering what is pacemaker.
Oh, Mali, stop the Mali. We're not going to argue that. This man said a thing.
I see why they say he didn't go to Rufa country.
Yeah,
the president had not made it clear that he's sick.
Anyway, that's your view.
I said, Lebron, please take Mali on your side.
Yeah,
Mali,
so, but I know.
No, but Mali coming to grant you that. That's where you belong.
No.
I don't grant you that. That's where you belong.
Okay. If we say the president is sick, then why we can be beating around on the platform now? If he made that pronouncement. You accept, Pajo, you just beat around here.
No, but Mali, it's not my business to come and talk about.
No, he already make it clear to us. So
yeah, but
also say
no, but
okay,
yeah,
guys,
Mali, I don't know your please, right?
You're good at we gotta go.
When I'm saying that, we know that he's sick. But if he leave
on Friday.
No, I don't know.
Okay, that's you. But I think the other panelists know that Honorable Bwaka has said that.
So why you can't talk about it when the president?
So good night, folks.
Talk about it.
So,
why should I take credit? Mali, it's not my business.
No, because the president already told you. So no fear. Just blast it.
I'm not fear, but I'm saying it's not my business to be talking pondering on it.
No, that you're president. You have all right to say anything.
But Mali, I think you're missing the point. I said a year that if the president is trying for health reason, the Liberian people have the right to know. Period.
Mr. George.
No, that's not what you're supposed to say. Say the papa is sick, he traveled for health reason.
Mali Jones, Emma George. Mali Jones, Emma George.
So why you beating? Why Emma George you beating around? You know the papa sick. Why you beating around?
So yeah, what I'm gonna do?
When I'm
Mali, you're two old people.
No, I'm not beating around it. But I'm just telling you. It's not my business.
That's your president. I can say that because no, I can say that because I don't know.
Okay, that's why. But you don't know because you don't want to know. Because if you want to know, I had told you, I gave you evidences, I gave you references. You don't want to know, so I can't force you to know.
So you in denial?
You are the one in denial.
Because I don't know.
But I know. So I have.
Okay, then you in denial because you know.
Huh? I know. Why should I be in denial? I'm not saying if I didn't know, then I'm in denial. But you say
why you can't call the signal and you say pacemaker? Pacemaker, that's signal.
These are the people who face every night.
Is that the knee of the signal? Pacemaker?
These are the two gentlemen.
Good night, guys.
Yeah? Is that the knee of the signal? Pacemaker?
Good night.
The two old people, we gotta put them somewhere. We need to contain them. Folks, thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening. This is LPR. The diversity is on this network. We don't sanction voices. We discuss it in a very respectful manner. We'll be back here, John, the Liberal Progressive, tomorrow, Thursday, with his regular program, and Friday we'll be back here by God's willing. Until then, have a pleasant evening. I will say happy Valentine's Day to all our viewers, listeners, and followers of LPR. Bye-bye.